Chief White House correspondent James Rosen, live from the North Lawn at the White House with more on the unannounced visit. James.
Sean and Lydia, good morning to you. Senior U.S. officials confirmed just minutes ago that a few hours ahead of President Biden's arrival in the Ukrainian capital, a heads up was given to the Kremlin, notifying the Russian government of the trip in advance in an effort at what aides to President Biden called deconfliction. It's a fancy military term that means, in essence, making sure the Russians didn't accidentally attack the president's traveling party. When Mr. Biden and President Zelensky emerged after their meetings at Mariinsky Palace, air raid sirens could be heard going off in the background, a stark reminder that Ukraine remains a hot war zone. With this, the first visit to one by a sitting U.S. president, where, unlike in Iraq or Afghanistan, the U.S. military has no troops deployed and only a minimal diplomatic presence. Getting to Kyiv required the president to take a 10-hour train ride across the Polish border. Officials said the decision to make the trip was tightly held by the White House Chief of Staff, the White House Military Office, the U.S. Secret Service, and the intelligence community, which prepared risk assessments. Aides said that in the meeting with Zelensky, President Biden sought to come to a mutual understanding of what the objectives for 2023 are and how they can be achieved. A suggestion, perhaps, of some tension in the relationship, that the two did not already have a mutual understanding of those things when we are almost approaching March of 2023. A participant in the key meetings told reporters the president would not be announcing the supply of any new weapons systems to Ukraine in their fight against the Russians. However, the president alluded in his public remarks to Zelensky receiving some new weapons systems in the future, even as the American leader announced that $550 million in renewed aid today.
And just today, that announcement includes artillery ammunition for HIMARS and howitzers, more javelins, anti-armor systems, air surveillance radars to help protect Ukrainian people from aerial bombardments.
We have just held talks with the U.S. president in a one-on-one format and then in the expanded format. It was the conversation that indeed brings closer our joint victory in this war. We can and we must do so that 2023 becomes the year of victory.
Aides to President Biden are portraying this as the move of a bold leader, a gutsy move, one that was conducted under extreme difficulty, they said. The small pool of reporters that was permitted to travel with the president were made, each of them, to surrender their phones for the trip. As we've noted, a lot of the footage and the readouts of the various meetings were delayed in their release for an hour or more at different times. As late as Friday, retired Rear Admiral John Kirby, spokesman for the National Security Council, denied that there were any plans for the president to visit Ukraine. And even as late as Sunday night, the preliminary schedule that the White House sent out to news organizations, which it does every Sunday night, showed the president remaining here in Washington until tonight, when he was supposed to depart for Warsaw. That trip to Poland now continues as planned. Sean and Lydia.
Catching the world by surprise this morning, James Rosen reporting live. James, thank you. We'll take you live back to Kyiv right now. This visit by President Biden comes at a very crucial time in the war between Ukraine and Russia. The president of the European Union right now saying China has signed an agreement with Russia to support Vladimir Putin in Ukraine. So there again, it may be a teaming up of sorts between China and Russia at this time. Even Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, speaking to CBS News on an interview, saying that China is strongly considering giving military aid to Russia.